everyone. Happy Israel Independence Day. Thank you for joining us. As we're thinking about what we could do for that day, there's nothing much more Israeli than falafel. So this is what we're making today. In your kit, you got some dried chickpeas that had to soak overnight, and you got some of our falafel spice that we mix in Yafo. So we sent some of that for you. All you gotta buy is one bunch of parsley and one bunch of cilantro, a few cloves of garlic, and one large onion. All right, and we'll start the preparation. The only preparation you have to do is you have to soak the chickpeas for at least 8 hours, and remember they're going to double in size, so give them enough space to do that. We're going to start with the onion and garlic. So in a food processor, put the onion in, put the garlic in, and we're just going to puree it until it is completely smooth. You want to scrape the sides a little bit, make sure everything gets in there. In the restaurants, we usually do this in a food processor, in a meat grinder, but food processor works just fine for a home application. Cool. Once this is fully pureed, we're going to add the herbs, parsley and cilantro. And pulse these as well. And we want them to basically be almost a paste, but we don't want it to have big chunks because then it's going to get stuck in our teeth. All right, you can see the consistency right here. Now we're going to take this out and start with the chickpeas. It doesn't have to be completely clean because we're going to mix everything again at the end. This is a lot of chickpeas for one batch of food processor. We want to get them all the same size, so we're going to do it in 2 installments. So put half in. This, you don't want to puree it too much. We want basically large salt flakes, or like the large kosher salt size. See in here. And if you have a few pieces that are a little bigger, that's fine because it's going to cook through. So we did that once, and we're going to do it again. Alright, that's it. And all we have to do now is add our spice blend. And mix it until it's all one color. At this point, I actually like to mix it with my hands, so we're going to switch. So now we have our batter. It's all about the same size, and the spice is evenly distributed as we mixed it. And we'll go to the next part, which is the frying part. All right, so we have our batter here. It doesn't need to rest or anything. It's ready to go as soon as you grind it or puree it. And then this is the other tool that we have. We use a falafel scooper. You all got it in your kit. And what's different between this one and the one that you got is I took the spring out. So there's a little spring that pushes it back out. To take it out, which makes your life much easier, all you got to do is unscrew this, and this whole thing comes out, and you can put this take the spring out and put this back in. I'm going to screw that back in. And what it does is then you can actually just use your thumb to push it out instead of the spring doing it. So what we want to do is get our oil hot, about 350 degrees, and have enough oil to cover the falafels. And then we're going to scoop the batter, and this hand is just going to spin it, and this hand is just going to pile it as much as you can. And this is just a regular spoon, and what we want to do is we want to pack it in there as much as possible. And whatever is left is just going to fall back into the bowl. And you're going to dome it a little bit. As you can see, it holds its shape. There's no cracks on the bottom. If it gets dried after a while, you can always rinse the spoon in water and do it again. But again, this hand circles and this hand just packs as much as you can, and you use the natural shape of the spoon to shape the dome. And whatever falls into the bowl just falls in, and we'll use it on the next batch. And now I'm going to take this and put it into the oil and do another one. I've been practicing a little bit, so I do it fairly fast. And once you got about 6 or 7 in, you give them about 2 minutes on each side, or until they are completely brown, so there's no green seams in between them. Give it about 2 minutes, and I have a few that have been cooking before, and you can see over here that it kept its shape, and there's no grain on the outside. All we do at the end is put a little bit of salt on it, and that's it. You have a wonderful falafel to celebrate your Israel Independence Day. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us through Yafo or through my personal social media accounts.